So a year ago during Amazon's Prime Day sale, we picked up these Black & Decker under the cabinet lights for about half the price that they normally sell for. Now, for years, we've been trying to find a lighting solution for under our kitchen cabinets. We've tried traditional puck lights that just got way too hot and didn't provide enough light, and we've also tried to custom install RGB strip lighting, but that was just a big mess with a ton of soldering and a ton of cutting wires, and it was just way too complicated and frustrating for us to install in our kitchen. After a year, we have been very satisfied with the lighting under our cabinets. However, there is one massive caveat that I think you need to consider before you decide to purchase these. Now, the biggest reason why you would want to purchase these lights is for the installation experience. Incredible experience overall. Now, when you purchase these, they are packaged in 5 different LED strips, and this allows you to really customize exactly where the lights are placed without having to go and cut different RGB strips. Now, at least in my kitchen, they were a very good size for me, and because the LEDs are diffused, that allowed them to provide a very nice and even light across my entire kitchen. However, your experience may vary, and it might be that they might be too small or big depending on exactly where you're trying to put them. Now, as for actually installing these, there are tracks on the side of the aluminum bars, and the package comes with a ton of different mounting clips. Now, all you have to do is peel back the adhesive and put the clips roughly where you might want to have the lights, and just make sure to use some sort of diagram to make sure that you are straightening up the mounting points. And then you can just go and take the bar and slip that right in. And that allows you to make very nice micro adjustments as to the placement of the lights after you have installed the mounting points. And that also means you don't have to be incredibly precise when you're under the cabinet. Now, the other thing that I absolutely loved was that the Black & Decker kit comes with a ton of pre-cut wires with various different lengths ranging from incredibly small to fairly large. Now, what I liked about this was that I did not have to cut anything and I did not have to solder anything. All I had to do was roughly find the right size and just go and clip it into the back of the strips, and then I could go and daisy chain the strips together and it all just worked together magically. Now, if you're doing a more complex installation where you might have incredibly large or incredibly short runs, this might not be ideal for you because you can't necessarily go and just cut the wire and get it to the exact right length. I was able to make runs across my kitchen sink and across my range and microwave, and it installed beautifully. And the adhesive on the mounting brackets is very sturdy. Although it isn't going to be as sturdy as a full strip of adhesive, it is also definitely not as permanent. You can very easily go and remove those brackets and move them to a different kitchen if you like. Now, talking about the experience, we have been using these 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for about a year, and we have been incredibly satisfied with both the reliability and the overall look and feel of the lights. The one thing I really like is the different color options. It ranges from a cool daylight to a warm daylight, and although it doesn't offer the full RGB spectrum, which some people might prefer to kind of match the vibe and the ambiance of, a party or some other special event, I find that the colors are very neutral and they fit in and accentuate the different features of our kitchen. I can go and switch to the warm white light here, and it goes down to the extreme of this cool white light here. The other thing I really like about these is that they get nice and bright. They do provide a very good amount of light considering that they are just LED strips. And I also like that I can dim them very low and not have them flicker at all. This is especially nice if you're at night and you want to use them as a night light. They definitely provide an ample amount of light for us to quickly use appliances that are located under the sink, but they also are bright enough so that we can go and cook without our primary kitchen lights on. We primarily use them just to go and brighten up under our cabinets because, with a central fluorescent light in our kitchen, they can get really dark, and it honestly just really increases the mood in your kitchen, and it really kind of upgrades the quality of it. And like I mentioned before, we have used them extensively throughout the year, and they are just as reliable as they were on day one. The last thing that I love about these lights is the under cabinet control that it offers. It is just a very intuitive thing to use. There are 2 buttons that you can press press to control both the brightness and the color temperature. If I go and hold down the brightness, that can go and increase it in about increments of 5. Once it goes and gets to full brightness, if I go and hold it down again, that'll go and decrease the brightness back down to 0. And then the other button is recessed so that you can actually notice that difference without having to go and look at them. And if I go and press this will cycle between the 5 different color temperatures. And finally, if I go and wave my hand under the unit, that will go and turn the lights off. If you just want them on very quickly as a night light, and then you can go and just wave your hand to turn them off without really having to find a button or find a control. This has again been very convenient, especially since we are used to having under cabinet controls for our puck lighting. We were able to just go and put that control unit right next to it, and it really integrated into our existing habits very nicely. Now, my biggest complaint, and it's a big one, about these is that you can only use them with the Amazon Alexa app. It is a complete walled garden. There is no API. You cannot use them with Homebridge. You cannot use them with Home Assistant. You know, when I look on Amazon and I see a device is compatible with Alexa, I kind of assume that it's going to be compatible with other things, but I was unable to import them into Google Home, and I was unable to integrate them with my existing routines. I wanted to be able to go and turn these on with my other kitchen and dining room lights, and I just can't do that at all. And if I wanted to be able to do that, I'd have to go and subscribe to a completely different ecosystem, which we are just not willing to do at all. It would be really nice to be able to use our Google Home speaker to go and turn on these lights or change the color temperature throughout the day. So to be honest with you, I have not used the smart home capabilities of these at all. That being said, however, the under cabinet solution to control these is very impressive, and I haven't really felt the need to use them. But again, it is a great shame considering that the smart home capabilities were a primary reason why I did decide to purchase it. Now, despite all my grudges, the Amazon Alexa app is nice to be able to set very finite brightness control. You're only able to really control in increments of 5% using the under cabinet unit, so it's nice to be able to go and set it exactly to the position that you want. It's also nice to be able to go and integrate it into routines and do things like have it change the color temperature throughout the day. Let's say you might want to decrease the brightness and also decrease the brightness of other Amazon Alexa compatible smart home lighting that you have in your home. It does not require a hub, so it is directly controlled through Wi-Fi, so you can make modifications very quickly without having to wait or have to worry about having a hub be offline or something like that. And just a couple of quick things I forgot to mention about the cables. They do provide extensions so that if you don't have enough cable length, you can go and put 2 cables together, and that makes it so that you can go and make your run. So I was able to do that underneath my microwave, and that allowed for a very clean install without having to cut any cables or solder anything. And the second thing is that Black & Decker does provide adapters so that you can route your cables underneath the cabinets, and that allows again for very clean cable management. All you have to do is use the provided adhesive and go and push the metal back, and whammo, your cable is managed. So with that said, those are my thoughts about the Black & Decker under cabinet lighting. I paid about $80 for them on Amazon Prime Day, and I would say that's a fair price considering the package that you're getting, the convenience that you get from being able to really easily install and adjust them, and also the premium quality in the diffusion and the premium quality LEDs that get very bright and don't have any issues dimming. However, I would not recommend paying the full price for these. I know that there are Tuya compatible Chinese brands that sell lighting that is very similar to this on Amazon, and you can get that at a much cheaper price. I would say, at least for my use case, if you're not getting this lighting on discount, I don't think it's worth spending over $100 for this type of solution. And although, like I said, I haven't tested any of the Chinese brands, I do know they would work with my existing smart home. Everything under Tuya works perfectly together. That would definitely be something I would consider if I were looking for this under cabinet lighting solution again. So with that said, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope it was informative, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.